Hey there, hey friends, Ken here, your thrifty apprentice, and in today's video, we are painting and having ourselves a good old field test. Now, this is the first on-video field test for the full range of the second gouache in our professional gouache showdown, and this is the Turner Designer Gouache. Now, at some point, you may have seen videos using this gouache on the channel in the past. At that point, I had 3 colors, which were 3 primaries, and I have since expanded to 8 colors in order to include this particular brand in our professional gouache showdown. Now, as far as the paper I am using, this is Hanamule or Hanamule. I want to say it's 110 pound, sort of a tan grayish watercolor paper. This year is the year of sketchbooks for me. This is the year to use up as many sketchbooks as I have, whether they are pre-made or custom made. So I'm starting off with the papers that I've discovered after use that I might not like as much. And that's why I'm painting here. Plus, gouache tends to be one of those mediums that can work on a lot of different surfaces. Now, I am using this gouache in a really watered down way. It's going to be used more like an opaque watercolor. I tend to like to use my gouache this way because I do like to let it dry down and paint from dried down gouache just as I would, a dried down watercolor. So when doing this, you are re-wetting or adding water to the gouache, which will sort of de-opacify it just a little bit, allowing you to work with it in a really watercolor type way and field. Now, I'm one of those people that when using transparent watercolors, I tend to paint in a lot of layers. Now, when you switch that over to me using gouache like it's an opaque watercolor, where I'm really watering it down and using it to get those watercolor effects, I can paint with less layers because the paint is already opaque and is giving me more body as I paint from the very start. Now, the subject matter that I'm painting is actually a food paint challenge off of Instagram, and this is one of them from back during either the first or the second week of December of the 2024 holiday season. However, with it being oranges and cherries and threading, I figured that it would still work in a winter type setting, so I decided to paint it. Plus, I had the photo saved in backstock, and I was telling myself I was going to go back, pull it out, and paint it, and I figured now would be as good as time as any. And I'll be honest, I really enjoyed painting this. One of the great things about doing challenges like those that I'm talking about from Instagram is that, especially when you have like artist block or you may not know what you want to create, what you want to paint, challenges like that are really great ways to kind of break through, give you something that you might not necessarily or ordinarily paint, but give you a challenge, bring you outside your box. And those are the type of things that are A, fun, and B, really help push you beyond your limit, helping you to grow. So I definitely suggest that. Doodle Wash also runs paint challenge every month where they give you 31 prompts, and you can find that on doodlewash.com. So I suggest either one of those. Check out doodlewash.com and get one of their monthly challenges, or check out Food Paint Challenge over on Instagram, where I believe the challenges are posted by the week, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, really great ways to push past artist block and really help yourself experience painting something that you may not normally paint. Now, this was a pretty straightforward painting. And these paints, let me tell you, this gouache is really good. Now, this is only the second one in the showdown, and I plan on including many different gouache in this showdown before we finally get to this mega uber like comparison video towards the end of the entire showdown. But that's going to be months down the road, so you guys just be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell. 1, so you know when we go live. 2, so you know when we upload. And 3, so you'll be sure that you don't miss any of this gouache showdown. I feel like it's going to be really, really fun comparing these different brands of professional gouache and their qualities to each other. Now, I have been mixing the paint as I go along. I've testing the mixing ability of the 8 colors, the blending ability of the 8 colors. Although I'm using them in a really watered down way, I'm still testing how much I might be able to layer without them lifting or without it looking too chalky or too dead. Although I did mention earlier, I'm painting with a lot less layers than I normally would if I was using transparent watercolor. And it's sort of a balance. Now, there are a couple of hybrid brands of watercolors out there, or should I say water-soluble paints that sort of work like a watercolor or gouache. But when I want transparency, I prefer a watercolor. When I want a gouache, I want a gouache. And with a gouache, I can water it down and use it in the way that I am. So I feel like a gouache fits the best of both worlds for me, both as a gouache in its own form and capacity and as a opaque watercolor. So, friends, this is really straightforward. Definitely go get the reference photo. Give this a try. You can paint it using any water-soluble medium that you may want to. You could also do this in color pencils, alcohol markers, oil pastels, pretty much whatever medium you paint in. I could see this being something really fun, really cool, and probably a really great way to kick off a day of creating, especially if you just want to break through and have a little fun. It would also probably be a really great project to paint along with your kids teaching an art class at a painting sip or a sip and see or whatever they call them. I actually want to get into doing those myself, but that's a conversation for a different day. So, friends, that's going to bring us almost to the end. I'm throwing down shadow here. And once I get the shadow down, I'll do some darker shadow right up under where the object actually meets the surface that it's sitting on. And I really do like the fact that I was able to use this gouache in this way and still kind of get the feel that I was going for and not spend as long on the painting because I was using a more opaque water-soluble medium to paint it. So hopefully you picked up on something in this video that you liked. If you did, don't forget to sprinkle a little love and give the video a thumbs up. It's going to help get it in front of other wonderful viewers like you. Let's help this algorithm. We are really building this community, and I really appreciate your friends. Share, cause sharing. Appreciate your help, friends. I'm sorry. Share, cause sharing is caring. And it's going to help, again, get it in front of other viewers. As I mentioned earlier, don't forget to subscribe if you're new or if you're returning and you haven't. Go ahead and hit that notification bell so you'll know when we go live, when we upload. Jump in the comment section, friends. Let me know, what do you think about this little challenge? Have you tried the food paint challenge? What do you think about the composition? Have you tried and used the Turner Gouache? How do you feel about those? I'd really like to know. Be sure to check the video description for all of the relevant links. And remember, as I always tell you, just keep creating.